No Riaro Gabo, do swear that the information I shall give before this departmental committee on defense, intelligence, and foreign relations, the matter under its consideration shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Aji Gabo, no, this is the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations. The Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations is established pursuant to Article 1241 of the Constitution and the National Assembly Standing Order 216. Article 124A of the Constitution provides that when a House of Parliament considers any appointment for which its approval is required under the Constitution or an Act of Parliament, the appointment shall be considered by the committee of the relevant House. Additionally, the National Assembly Standing Order 2165 spells out the mandate of the committee, which among others is to vet and report on all appointments within its purview. The purpose of this vetting is to ascertain your suitability to discharge the responsibility of Counsel General that you've been nominated to serve. Honorable Gabo, if you can take a few minutes to do a quick introduction of yourself, your family, educational and employment background before I can allow members to pose questions or comments to you. Please proceed.
Thank you, Chairman and honorable members. First, let me take this opportunity to thank His Excellency the President for nominating me for this post of a Consular General for Haiti. Mr. Chairman, my name is Noor Gabo. I was born in 1967 in Wajir, and since then I went to Wajir Bor Primary School, Burra Primary School, Mandera Secondary School, Garissa High School, where I completed my A level. And later on, 1988, I was recruited as a cadet inspector in the Kenya Police Service. For the last 36 years, I was promoted through the ranks. Therefore, I served in different areas in this country. I was the OCS Maseno, OCS Ahero, Kisumu OCS Crime Branch, OCS Nyakach. And later on, I served in the Kenya Police College as instructor for a period of 9 years before heading to Parklands Police Station as OCS, as an OSPD of Gigiri, and later on I moved to Bosnia, where I joined the United Nations for a period of 1 year in peacekeeping. I returned back to the country, and I was made the Chief Transport Officer of the Police College, and later on I proceeded to Sierra Leone and Liberia in the peacekeeping in terms of training the local police within UN. And during that period, I joined the UN headquarters in New York for a period of 5 years, being the in charge of the African desk of the peacekeeping, of the Department of Peacekeeping Operation. And that's where Honorable Yusuf, we met during when he was working with UN as a senior officer. I came to African Union to be an advisor to the African Union as a UN for a period of 2 years in terms of the African RECs. The 5 African RECs is where I was dealing with them in terms of policing and ensuring that all police academies in Africa is interconnected. And I returned back to the country in 2018, whereby I was posted to operation headquarters in the police. Later I was promoted and went to Northeastern as a deputy PPO. I was transferred to Police College as Chief Instructor and Deputy College Kiganjo. I came back to Police Headquarters as the Director Planning. And 2017, I became the College Commandant Kiganjo. On 2018, I was promoted the first police officer to head the Administrative Police Service as a Deputy Inspector General, where I stayed in that post for a period of 6.5 years until July last year. I was transferred to public service as an advisor to the Ministry of Interior and the National Security Advisor on the issues of Haiti police reform. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. That was quite brief and precise. I'll allow members to ask you a few questions or comments. I'll start with Honorable Yusuf, then Honorable Karima, and then Honorable Wangare. IG, if you take 3 and then we respond to them, then we take the next set.
Thank you, Chair. I have 2 questions. The first one is relates to Haiti. You are going to be, if you're approved by this particular committee, you're going to be our Consular General, our first Consular General to Haiti. Haiti is the only other Caribbean island, apart from Cuba, that we have diplomatic relations, or we have established diplomatic relations with a mission. This is a tiny country with a small population. It doesn't have any commercial or business links with Kenya. So I just wanted to find out from your thinking, what do you think is so important that Kenya should establish a mission in Haiti? What is in it for us as a country? The second question I have is on the fact that Haiti is a failed state in a terminal crisis. And it is facing an almost intractable problem. It is an enormous problem that only the deployment of a major multinational force, fully backed by a robust UN Security Council mandate, can turn things around because of the complexity. Would you say that the deployment of 400 Kenyan police contingency is almost a joke, a drop in the ocean, and in a way, as it looks as if our allies are setting us Kenyans for failure? Since you were part of this mission and the preparation for this mission, don't you think that its success is very limited unless things can be turned around and a major multinational force is deployed there? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Bwana Gabor, my question is that as a former police officer in charge of a number of institutions you mentioned to us, and having interacted with some of us and having known a number of the way you approach to issues. Now, the training you have undergone is to face difficulties and to solve those difficult issues, especially when it comes to cattle rustling in Kenya, especially the northern part of Rift Valley, the banditry issues in the areas you have been posted like Wajir and many others. Now, you know, what's existing in Haiti now is somehow a difficult situation. And Mr. Gaboro, you have no diplomatic training, and neither issues to do with international relations. How are you going to jungle with the issues in Haiti and make sure that Kenyans' interest comes first? And you leave the station you have been posted to better than the way it is, taking into account that as it has been stated by my colleague earlier, is a failed state. Lastly, is that the country you are going to has languages which are not familiar to you. Is either Haiti language or French language. And in your forms, I've seen that you are not saying that you are familiar with those languages. And this is a country whereby it has no Honda as we speak. It has no Honda at all. And you require also even to intermingle with the locals there to make things work, knowing that it's a gangster state whereby it's helter-skelter in all issues, both day-to-day life and even to international life. What are you going to do to make sure that you are understood by the people whom you are going to serve there? What kind of PR are you going to apply, taking into consideration your background? Thank you, sir.
Honorable Wangari.
Thank you, Chair. My question is, I'll ask, first of all, I want to congratulate you on your nomination because you've had an illustrious career as a career civil servant, and you have serious training in matter security and strategic planning. So I would also want to hear how you will apply that in the new station that you would be headed to when approved or if approved by the House. But my question is on the welfare of the over 400 Kenyan police who have been sent to the Multinational Security Support MSS Mission 2023 in Haiti. And as you know, because you have grown over the ranks and ended up as a DIG, you know for a good reason why our Kenyan police are not unionized. So they may have issues in terms of their welfare, but they do not know where exactly to voice them. So I will be asking, what do you think? Because there have been some voices coming saying they have not been paid, then they have not been paid on time. How will you assist to ensure that this is done, considering your background, that it is done in time, and not just there, even in this country? How will you help to ensure that is done in time? And in your career, because you have worked throughout for the last 36 years, in terms of the area you ended as a policy maker, as a DIG, what would you say is your major achievement in the police force or the police service that you'd pick and say that you're proud of, that as you exit the service or as you take another assignment, that you can say that you made a change in terms of policy intervention at that level?
Respond to those three, IG.
Thanks, Chairman. I'll take the questions order of priority. Yusuf, Karima, and Wangari. Honorable Yusuf, Honorable Wangari, and Karima. The first question of Honorable Yusuf, the issue of that Haiti is a failed state. I want to put it clear that Haiti has challenges. This is a country which got independent in 1804. It's one of the first African countries which got independent in 1804. The country has a lot of challenges, and when the UN Security Resolution 299 of 2023 was endorsed, and the Secretary General and Haiti has written a letter to Kenya for assistance, we as a country, we saw the need that as a lead nation, as a country which has participated in peacekeeping over 20 peace missions with our military, our police, the country, we came to the assistance of Haiti, and were able to send. I went to Haiti 4 or 5 times to do assessment. I visited their police stations. I visited all their infrastructure and some of the areas where we see before we deploy. Therefore, there was a due diligence. A due diligence was done by the country to go down there with the technical people from our security agencies to ensure that if we send our officers, therefore we look at what positive achievement we can get to once we deploy our officers. Therefore, we have in June 25th, we sent the first 200 officers. I went with them, settled them in the airport, and we were able to do engagement, and we sent them. And here in Kenya, we have sent some of our best police officers. We are not sending people who only know streets. We have sent our GSU, we have sent our border police, we are sending our anti-stock theft units, officers who have been tested in some of the areas Honorable Kerima was talking about. Therefore, we have sent the first 200, and within a 2 weeks span, we were able to send another 200. Therefore, 400 officers on the ground, and they were joined by officers from Jamaica, and this week they were joined by 150 officers from Guatemala. Therefore, there are a lot of officers coming. But what I will say is this: the officers, when they have been deployed, 400 officers, together with 4,000 Haitian police. Haitian police, in terms of, they are required to be 11,000. But currently, those on the payroll, those who are working, are 4,000. Therefore, generally, that mixture of 400 Kenyan police officers to give support as per UN Security Council resolution, they were able, within the first 2-3 months, they were able to get hold of the airport. They were able to get hold of the port. They were able to free the police training academy, where over 700 police officers have been trained now to join the other police officers. They were able to clear some of the roadblocks along some of the major highways within the Port of Prince. Therefore, there's a lot of achievement done by 400. During our assessment, what we have said is we required 2,500 police officers. 2,500 police officers. In terms of failure, UN were deployed to Haiti. They stayed 15 years. There were 15,000 police UN officers on the ground. When they left, Haiti went back to the same problem in terms of challenges the country was facing. The president was killed. There were a lot of issues. To me, what I will say is the 400 police officers from Kenya, they have done a lot of achievement in terms of, and the 600 officers who have been trained, who are undergoing training, and who will be joining them in the next 1 month or 2, that will be an achievement, and we shall be able to free Haitian people from the gangs which were terrorizing some of, and the humanitarian corridor will be able to be open. The other one is the hostel. The only hostel in Haiti, Port of Prince, was open, and you've seen in the papers. Therefore, a lot can be done by our. Therefore, generally, what we call the Kenyan police will be doing a lot, and the opening a mission it will be the best in terms of ensuring that some of the issues officers are having will be able to be tackled by our embassy. Therefore, the next question is from Honorable Kerima. It's true that I served in North Rift and some of the challenge area during my time, that's 6 years in the police, but also I've stated in my introduction that I've served in the United Nations in former Yugoslavia, Sierra Leone, United Nations headquarters, where over 5 years in New York, I was able to interact with 192 member states in terms of discussing and working with the ambassadors and high commissioners in New York. And I also privileged to have been in Addis Ababa interacting with the 54 member countries in terms of working with them on some of the challenges African police face. Therefore, generally, I will say that the security, my security credential, which I'm bringing to the table, and since the mission, the MSS mission in Haiti is more of a peace and security mission. Therefore, and one of our pillars is peace, security, diplomacy. That's the key indicator that my credentials plus the diplomacy, which I will bring it through my years' experience with the United Nations, will be a key in this mission which we are opening once I'm confirmed. The issue of language, Honorable Kerima talked about language. I understand for a diplomat, at least a language is a key. And I want to inform Mr. Chairman, the honorable members, that our officers, before they left, the 400, they were able to undergo an intensive 6 weeks training on Creole and French here. And right now, when they went there, therefore, we took them another 6 weeks back at Haiti for them they were able to interact. Therefore, to me, learning, I will not stop learning, and I will be able to learn, me and my team. And also, I know the mission will be able to, we shall have a multilingual team who will be able to work with the embassy. Also, the other question of Honorable Wangari, what strategies I've learned in my years in the police. Since I joined the police as a cadet in 1988, as a middle level officer, at a young age of 21, I was able to command police stations in Maseno, Ahero, and other areas. And also, I was a trainer. And since I climbed the ladder and becoming a DIG, what I want to say is that strategy, my training, my background, seen in some of the worst areas where I've been deployed in the missions, coming with that experience is what made me to use the strategy I've learned over the years to propel police in Kenya. Also, Honorable Wangari talked about the welfare of officers. One thing which is there is, I want to, honorable members, Chairman, is that the Kenyan police officers in Haiti, they have been paid. They have been paid their salary. And the IG was very categorical in the press. But right now, opening this mission will enhance their welfare. Their welfare will be key. Also, the other thing is we are developing a peace fund, which will be ready by the next 2 weeks, like the military, whereby our central bank will have a peace fund for the police. Therefore, the money will come straight, and within a short time, they will be able to fund. Therefore, general officers are being paid; their welfare is being taken care of. The other question is, what are some of my major achievements? Honorable Wangari, my major achievement is I was a trainer for a period of 9 years in the college, and roughly over 20,000 police officers went through my hand during that earlier period. And also, since I was the Deputy Inspector General, one of the issues I've done is two services of the police and the AP working together, ensuring that the two services have a cordial relationship. And also, I was able to propel the AP to be a police service whereby today we have units which take care of our border, our stock theft. We have units who are doing excellent job in terms of fighting with terrorism and cattle rustling in some of these areas. Therefore, generally, a lot of reform agenda was brought to the police during my time. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Kana, and then Honorable Brigadier.
Thank you so much, Chair. Allow me to also congratulate our senior officer and our nominee for the post of Consular General in Haiti. Mr. Gabo, I have two very brief questions for you. Number one, we all agree that it's important that Kenya, being a global peacemaker, plays its role in ensuring that we return Haiti to the rule of law, peace and stability. But I want to know from you, what are the areas of strategic collaborations that you're looking at post the chaos? That's not question number one. Question number two, Bwana Gabo, I will request you to flash back events preceding the 15th of August 2022 declaration of the presidential results at Bomas. Some of us were there. And of course, we note that, and all Kenyans will note that there were very many ugly scenes just before the declaration of the presidential results. As an officer who was in charge of the command at that time, would you say, of course, with the benefit of hindsight and retrospection, that you would have better prepared for such kind of an important exercise for the country? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Let me also congratulate Mr. Gabo for the nomination. My questions are brief, and I'm asking these questions as an Haiti expert, because I think nobody knows Haiti more than, you're the person who visited Haiti most of the times, and I can say you're an expert in Haiti. There's a question, there's a report that the police officers which were deployed to Haiti are leaving the service in mass or in large groups. Is that report true? As an advisor to the ministry and also a former DIG who deployed the police officer. Secondly, knowing the problem with Haiti or the current situation in Haiti, Port-au-Prince, I think, is a war zone, sort of. Where will your office be domiciled? Your office, where will it be domiciled? The third question, although which has been asked, but I want to know, other than the security issues, do you have any other areas that will collaborate or for the mutual of both countries? For mutual benefit of both countries. Thank you.
Excellent. You might respond, IG.
Thanks, Chair. I'll respond to the question from Honorable Kana. Areas of strategic collaboration. Haiti and Kenya are members of the Global South, and also the South-South cooperation. Therefore, there's a lot of areas of cooperation, strategic cooperation, which is required. But in terms of technology, in terms of economic, cultural, the way I said, Haiti got independent in 1804. It had challenges, but it has a lot it can offer to Africa and the larger world. Therefore, generally cooperation in terms of bilateral cooperation, we can have a bilateral agreement with Haiti. We can have economic cooperation, at least trade cooperation can be done. Also, we have already signed an agreement with Haiti in terms of ensuring that further cooperation can be done. In the area of the issue of 2022, 15 August, it's true that I was in charge of Bomas, and I want to tell honorable members and the chair that I received the Ndugu Award for 22 for Peace, which is in my folder. Therefore, to me, what I can say, with all the challenges, we, the National Police, had done credible achievement during that period. Our role was to make sure that peace and peace and tranquility is kept within the Bomas Talent Center. We were working as police officers like in other talent center in the Republic. We were working for the IBC as employee. And what I want to say is, whatever we have done, the same is the principle I could have used even tomorrow if I made the in charge. The issue of Honorable Abdul Qadir, is there officers who are leaving their mission? I want to state clearly, and I've said, officers are being paid their salary. No officer has left. Officers are doing excellent job. We should not be seen in the issue of the social media. The social media can be so destructive in some of the areas, but the officers are being paid. They're doing excellent job. I went there 4 times, and the officers have even recovered bigger areas. One, the issue of the airstrip. Today, before February 2024, nobody could even land in the airstrip. But today, for 400 officers, they were able to secure the airstrip, the port, free flow of goods corridor has been opened. The training school for the police, 700 of them are undergoing training. The hostel, the main hostel, the Kenyatta of Port-au-Prince is working. And also the State House. You know that the former president was killed, but therefore there is where our officers are covered. Therefore, generally, no officer has resigned. Officers are doing excellent job. They just require support from all Kenyans. The other issue is, where are you domiciled? If confirmed, I will be domiciled in Port-au-Prince. There are already 30 embassies currently in Port-au-Prince. Generally, I think so. We shall be joining those other embassies to ensure that since we are a lead nation of the MSS and the interests of that other 30, Kenya, within the South-South, within the CARICOM, there's a lot of opportunities which are there in terms of economic, in terms of security. All these things are issues which we can benefit as a country, and our country can benefit more once Haiti, over 12 million people, of an area of 27,000 square kilometers, just like a Mandera or Uzalendo type of a country, and we have 12 million people. Therefore, the areas of cooperation I've already said. Kenya can the issue of trade. We can export our coffee, our tea, our textile to Haiti. We shall be able to ensure that the peace. We as a nation, as a lead nation, if it prevails, there's a lot of opportunities Kenya can get. Thank you, Chair.
Two gracious ladies, if you introduce yourself, who just joined us. Starting with Honorable Governor Daktari.
Very good afternoon, Irene Kasalu, MP Kitui County and member of this committee.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Millie Odhiambo Mabona, Member of Parliament, or bad girl, of course, and Member of Parliament of Suba North. Apologies, I've just come from the islands in Suba North, and I'm happy to arrive in time to find Mr. Noor Yaro Gabo. The last time we met was under very unfavorable circumstances in Bomas, so it's good we are meeting in more calm circumstances, and I only hope that you'll be able to extend the expertise to help calm Haiti. Thank you.
So in short, you have approved him?
No, I've not. But from the questioning, Chair, I can see you are approving him from the way you are.
Honorable Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Noor Gabo. You know, the mission out there basically is a security mission. Kenya probably will re-up if the country is stabilized. For now, we are not talking about what Kenya can gain. It is actually what Kenya can put forth to stabilize the place. But after stabilization, do you have plans for Kenya to benefit? Because remember, we are the first country to take the peacekeeping police force there. So do we have plans and strategies to ensure that once the country is stabilized, Kenya gains more? What plans do you have in place so that now, as a country, we gain from a stabilized Haiti?
So you can respond to that? And after you finish with that response, I'll request that you use the next 2 or 3 minutes to. After you make the response, I will request that you use the next 2 or 3 minutes to make a passionate plea to this committee on why you strongly believe that you are suitable for this position that you've been nominated.
Thanks, Chair. First, let me thank Honorable Melo Odhiambo for that comment she made. I'm very thankful for her, the meeting we had, and I was just having Kenya during that period. The Honorable Major Bashir asked Chair the issue of what benefit can we get from Haiti. I alluded here earlier that Haiti is a country which got independent in 1804. They have a resilience. It's a country, when you go up there, you see these are Africans who have been brought slavery from some part of Africa, and all these years. With all the challenges they have, there's a lot we can benefit once the situation is stabilized. And I said earlier that Kenya, under UN Security Council Resolution 299 of 2023, we are a lead nation. The first time we are becoming a lead nation in a 17,000 kilometer away near Americans, Central Americans. Therefore, our country has been chosen to provide, out of the 2,500 police officers, 1,000. And I said we have sent some of our elite officers with experience in some of the far-flung areas, those officers who have done wonders in this country, provided security to our countries in northeastern other areas and our inner cities, and they are doing excellent. 400 officers have done excellent job. The accumulation we are getting from United Nations and other partners, that 400 officers can turn the tide of a country whereby all the diplomats were leaving before the day 25th of June we have arrived. Therefore, there's a lot of benefit. The benefit here, Kenya, economically, Kenya can benefit within the Central Americans, the Haiti, the Dominican Republic, the Jamaicans. Majority of those countries they speak English, and generally we can have export in terms of trade. We can, our tea, our coffee, our textile, all can go to Haiti and some of these countries once we stabilize. Secondly, when we arrived on 25th of June, Haiti with the Kenya Airways, that changed the tide in the whole of in that region. They have never seen an African country come in with troops. And these are multilateral, it's not a UN mission. This is an agreement between countries supporting another country in need. Therefore, generally to me, a lot, Kenya can achieve a lot. We supported Southern Sudan, whereby a lot of Kenyans are working in Southern Sudan and other areas. The same applies with Haiti, where economically, in terms of trade, in terms of peace, in terms of training, a lot can be achieved within that. Thank you, Chair.
Is that your final remark?
Chair and honourable members, thank you for giving me this opportunity to present before you. I've said in my introduction, I've served this country for 36 years. I've joined the police as a cadet in 1988. I served in different parts of, as a young officer, age 21, I was OCS Maseno, the youngest during that time. I came to OCS Ahero, OCS Nyakach, Paputriti, and served and trained a lot of officers. During my period, I also served with the United Nations, 5 years in New York, thinking about policing and peacekeeping in African continent. Coming to African Union, 2 years, working with African RECs, the 5 RECs of Africa, ensuring that all training academies of Africa is interconnected in order that we can share some of the training. Mine is, I thank all of you. If you will be able to consider my nomination for Haiti, I'll be able to assist our officers who are on the ground, 400 of them, 600 are going, and I will make my security expert, my training will be an added advantage to our country in terms of ensuring that I will be able to promote and to protect and the Kenyan interest in Haiti. Thank you, Chair.
Just for your information is that we had also asked Kenyans if they had a memoranda against or in favor of you. None was against or in favor of you. So I just want to ask you this question, purposes of records, that have you complied with the Kenya Revenue Authority tax obligation clearance?
Yes.
Compliance with the Director of Criminal Investigation?
Yes.
Certainly, of course. Compliance with the Office of Registrar of Political Parties?
Yes.
Higher Education Loan Board?
Yes.
ESCC?
Yes.
Have you ever been charged in a court or of law convicted?
No.
Do you hold dual citizenship?
No.
What's your financial net worth, Mr. Gabo?
It's 128,500,000.
Thank you very much. This committee wishes you the very best if you are approved. Until then, you have a good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, members, that marks the tail end of our hearings today, approval hearings. It's been very short and precise. I think you've done justice, especially that we are on recess. So lunch will be served. I will pay the bill. Meeting stands adjourned. Downstairs.
Chair, is there double lunch for those of us who have traveled? Chair, is there double lunch for those of us who have traveled the whole night to come here?
It is everything. Just present yourself
from
with the venue.
Vangano, from Vangano Island.